Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, another Marx double reduction motor, and just wanted to do a quick video on this. I just got this thing assembled. It had a bad armature. Now, I got a couple of new motors a couple of days ago. One ran, one did not. This one did not. No matter what I did, I could not get this running. At first, I thought it was the E unit, but I was getting voltage out of the E unit, and I was getting voltage at the brushes. The problem with this armature is it would turn half a revolution and stop. If I moved it by hand, it would turn half a revolution and stop again in the same place. That's always indicative of a coil that is out on the armature. Anyway, I pulled the brush plate off. As you see, I've got a mismatched nut on here. Pulled the brush plate off, pulled the armature out, replaced the armature. This motor is up and running. Now, one problem with this motor, just like the other one, is it had no headlight and no provision for a headlight. So I've made mounts before using a magnet, but I wanted to find something that was absolutely simple to do. So this is what I came up with. It is a bent bobby pin. So you take the bulb itself and solder it to this leg of the bobby pin, as you see. Solder is there. Solder a wire to the back of the bulb. And then you can take this bobby pin and it just slides into position, as you see on the E unit cage itself. This literally slides into position, friction holds it there. So put the bulb on, as you see. You can see how simple this is. It just slides on and off. And attached a wire to the back of the bulb, ran it down to the plate, the contact plate on the bottom of the E unit. And I have not only a running motor, but I also have a working headlight. Works really, really well. Now, there is no socket, of course, but this is going to be inside the shell, and it's going to be absolutely protected. So this is going to work absolutely splendidly. So anyway, that's on there good and tight. So what I'm going to do, so I looked under the bench and pulled out a couple of shells. This is a 490, actually this is a 400 shell. So a double reduction motor that was dead as a hammer when I got it, and added a headlight to it, replaced the armature. We're going to drop this into this 400. Let me get a couple of screws. Hold on. Let's see. Screwdriver and screws. All right. So we'll mount this in this shell. Now this thing is just assembled out of junk parts, as you can probably tell. That screw did not go in for some reason. Hold on. Like I said, it is so difficult to work with this camera right here in the way. It is just really difficult. It always gets in the way. All right. Put in a screw. All right, good enough on that side. Put in a screw on this side. All right, so I ran this on the bench, added a traction tire to it. Let me pull the camera off the tripod, get this tripod out of the way. All right, this is gonna be the first run of this new Marx 400. Like I said, I ran this on the bench. The motor actually ran quite well. So let's see how this goes. So we have a working headlight. We have a working E unit. All right. Let's put this on a consist. And let's take this around and see how it runs. So a Marx 400 built from junk parts, with a double reduction motor, and it now has a working headlight. As you see, that's running really, really well. It's really smooth, it's really quiet. Like I said, that armature, it would turn half a turn and stop in the same position every single time. So that's indicative, like I said, that one of the coils is out in the armature. And that's exactly what the problem was. I dropped the new armature in this thing, bang. It took off as soon as I applied power to it. So then I had to turn my attention to putting a headlight in it. So use that bobby pin as a headlight holder. It slides on the bracket for the E unit. Ran one wire to it, and it is up and running, as you see. So this thing was made out of junk. This motor did not run and at all, and it had no headlight. Like I said, I got two motors, one ran, one didn't. So put that running one, the first one, in that 666 shell, and then I had to turn my attention to getting this one repaired. And like I said, I tested the E unit. The E unit seemed okay. The brushes were okay. The springs were all right. The brush plate was okay. That only left the armature. Like I said, you'd apply power, it would turn half a turn and stop. Then you turn it by hand, it would turn half a turn and stop, and it always stopped in the same exact place, which meant one of the coils was dead on the armature itself. So anyway, put a new armature in it, and this is the result. So put it in this 400 shell, a double reduction motor. See, it has 490 push rods on it. And this is running just absolutely perfectly. And it has a working E unit, and it has a working headlight. So pretty difficult to beat that. This is running really, really well. It's really smooth, it's really quiet. So it was definitely worth it. Probably took an hour to fix this. Most of it was trying to figure out what the problem was. And then pulling that armature out, put a new one in it, and like I said, as soon as I applied power to it, bang, it took off running. So is it perfect? Nope. It's a hodgepodge of parts, and it did not have a headlight. So made that headlight holder out of a bobby pin, soldered a wire to it, and it is up and running. So double reduction motor, working E unit, and a working headlight. Dropped it into this 400 shell, and it gives me a brand new locomotive that is running just absolutely perfectly. As you can see, this is running really smooth, really quiet. Pulling this consists with no problem at all. This is working just absolutely perfectly. As you see, I don't think anyone would object to owning this. Is it perfect? No, it isn't. It's just a hodgepodge of parts. The thing is, you know, as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. Just because something is junk when you get it doesn't mean it's going to be junk when you're finished with it. In this case, you have a running Marx 400 with a full-size double reduction motor, a working unit, and a working headlight. Total cost was about $8. So anyway, just wanted to do a video on this. Added that headlight to it. It's up and running. Put a new armature in it. No problem at all. This is going to be a really, really nice running motor. And it has a headlight now. A working unit, double reduction motor, and this thing is running just absolutely perfectly. Nice and smooth, nice and quiet. It'll have plenty of power. I put a traction tire on it. So this is running really, really well. So rather than stripping it for parts, spend a few minutes to diagnose the problem, and all I had to do was drop a new armature in it, add a headlight to it, and this old motor is up and running. Not just running, but running really, really well, as you can see. So double reduction motor, working E unit, and a working headlight. So anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this. Just got it put together, so I figured I'd document it with a quick video. Its first run on the rail. So it was definitely worth the time it took. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.